name has become synonymous with Notre Dame. Bob Golic started the tradition, winning a national championship for the Irish in 1977. Middle brother Greg followed, and then the baby of the family, Mike, was next. Mike was an All-American defensive end and captain for the Irish. He played 8 seasons in the NFL and has become one of the most well-known and respected personalities at ESPN. The Golic family tradition, though, did not stop with Mike. It only grew, and it all started the very first day of his freshman year.
The absolute first day of school. I met the St. Mary's girl, the Notre Dame guy, you know, and when they talk about that all the time, you know, the meeting and you met your wife and how was it? It was that moment.
My roommate was actually a girl that I had gone to high school with. And we were friendly, but we weren't great friends or anything. And we got to be good friends. And she had left St. Mary's about 2 years later, and she knew that, you know, I had liked Mike after this. Because I said to her, I said, this is the guy I'm going to marry.
Their romance blossomed slowly as a friendship that continued to grow deeper over time.
She was kind of like me, just kind of fun-loving, just, you know, wasn't afraid to mess around, goof around, to be self-deprecating. She's always been that way. We just got along.
After graduation, Mike was drafted by the Houston Oilers, and Chris moved back home to Chicago. And after 3 years of a long-distance relationship, Mike had a question for Chris.
The proposal, okay. He is terrible at keeping a secret. So he goes and gets the ring, calls me, and he says, I got the ring, do you want to know what it looks like? I'm like, okay. So yeah, so he's telling me about it. Luckily there was no phones with like cameras or anything, or he probably would have sent me a picture right away. So I mean, the spontaneity was gone. There was like nothing, you know. We were in the parking lot of the concert, and he gave me the ring, and we laugh about it now. He's like, I really let you down, I didn't do enough, you know, because now it's like a big production for people to get engaged. But you know what, that's kind of how we were.
On May 30th, 1987, Mike and Christine tied the knot in true Golic fashion.
At the end of the wedding, we all changed in, the guys into like board pants, shorts, and we had water guns. Bridesmaids, Chris, me, and all the guys were all laying on the ground having like a water gun fight. So that's kind of what it turned into, and that's kind of what it's been like here for 30 years.
While it was the perfect day, there is one regret.
We had it in Chicago, and to this day, Chris is mad at herself because she didn't have it here.
Mike was one of 3 siblings to go to Notre Dame, and in 1989, his own Irish trio began with the birth of Mike Jr. 18 months later, Jake followed, and then a baby girl, Sydney. For these 3, South Bend was a second home.
I came for at least 2 games a year from the time I was in 2nd or 3rd grade on, and had that familiarity. I'm very fortunate to know that it's always something that's going to mean a little bit more.
When it came time for the Golic children to make their college decision, it was no surprise where they would end up. Mike Jr. and Jake both played football for the Irish, while Sydney swam at Notre Dame.
You have 3 beautiful kids, and not one, but all 3 of them decide to come to Notre Dame. For them, was it something that you kind of pushed for them to do? Was it just a natural thing for them?
Very subtly, I said, go wherever you want except USC. You can't do that. I said, but no, I was serious. I said, really, go where you feel comfortable. But it was their dream, you know, so it was kind of icing on the cake. And they were together here for 1 semester, which was the coolest thing. It was Mike's 5th year, Jake's senior year, and Sydney's freshman year. And that happened to be the year they were undefeated and went to play in the national championship game. So it was a very, very cool semester to have all 3 on campus together.
And in July of 2017, Christine got her Notre Dame wedding when Jake married Jenny, a former track runner for the Irish. As the family grows, Chris and Mike are ready to continue the Golic tradition in South Bend, buying a house right on Notre Dame Avenue.
It was very deliberate on my part when we were, you know, our kids are starting to spread out a little bit. Sydney's in Chicago, Jake and Jenny are in Boston, and Mike's close to home. But we said, you know, the common denominator is that we all love to come here. And I said, let's get a place that we feel like everybody will kind of find their way back to. And so far it's worked.
Now, I mean, we come back for a blue and gold weekend, and here comes 4 or 5 of the players with their wives and with their kids coming to the house to say hi, I mean, how cool is that? You know, the relationships last. You know, and I think that's the important thing. So that's really, really a neat thing.
What is it about this place that makes it so special?
But I think family and tradition are the two words that I associate with Notre Dame.
And we are joined now live here with we're blessed with the presence of the man, the myth, the legend, Mike Golic. Thank you so much
my pleasure.
for being here again. Just, you know, you have such a presence here in South Bend. You have a home. I love that. The commitment that you've made to your friends, to your family, to the former players that come through. What does it mean to you? A day like today, I mean, you said last night, how many guys did you hang out with?
Oh, I mean, there's so many former players here that are even in the NFL because it's that one weekend they get before their season starts. And what's so cool for me and my wife is a lot of the guys from Mike's class and Jake's class and even Sydney's class of the different girls swimmers and soccer players and other athletes she got to know or became friends with, we're all like kids to us. We met them all when they were like 18 and just freshmen here at Notre Dame, and we were here so much and we saw them so much, we felt like we were raising them as well. It's just such a great atmosphere, and all their friends stick together and still communicate and are living in the same city. So, I mean, as I said in the piece, family and tradition, I mean, that's what Notre Dame's all about.
Absolutely. And of course, 1982, that was the very first night game here at Notre Dame Stadium. Happened to be against Michigan, and you happened to play in that game.
Well, I did. That was my sophomore year. That was the first game ever under the lights here. They brought in the temporary lights. And if I remember correctly, and all that really matters is, we won the game. Bottom line, we beat Michigan, which, you know, I know they've won more of their share of the last few, but we beat them in that one. Again, it was my sophomore year. I think they were number 10 coming into the season, so it was a nice way to start the season.
Of course, the Irish are now under the lights again tonight. You know, you're around the program, obviously working at ESPN. What are your thoughts? What are some of the things that you're standing out for you for this matchup?
Well, I mean, you look at this matchup, we lost 2/5 of the best offensive line in the country last year. You lose your running back in Adams, your receiver in EQ. You have a quarterback coming back in Brandon Wimbush who runs extremely well, has struggled throwing the ball, no doubt about it. So for me, now in any situation, you'd like to be in a second and short situation, but I think it's key for a quarterback at times who has that difficult throwing the ball. Give them better options at a 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6. Don't be afraid to throw that ball on first down to give yourself a better position, because that O-line now, especially the veterans like Mustapher and Bars at center guard, having to handle Rashawn Gary, that one of the top defensive linemen in the country, and that D-line, it could be tough sledding. That's going to be the great battle to watch. Don't always look at the ball. It's not always where the ball goes. Watch the battles going on within what happens with the ball, and there's some great ones out there.
That is a concern for me, is the running back situation here at Notre Dame. It's just thin. It's hard to replace Josh Adams. We're still question marks on Dexter Williams. He wasn't getting a lot of touches in practice.
Well, the beauty of that is you have a quarterback that can run, so he can fill that void occasionally depending on how you want to use him. So I love Claypool, the wide receiver. You're looking at tight ends. We have a number of tight ends now. Hopefully they'll get back in the flow of this offense as well. So I agree with you on the lack possibly of that one dynamic running back, but when your quarterback can make up for it, but we have to be in a position to where we don't have to throw to be back in the game. Brandon, listen, he struggled there. The offense struggled in that situation. I know a lot of times that's when Ian Book came in. We'd see if that would have to happen. And now Michigan has a throwing quarterback in Shea Patterson, the kind of quarterback Jim Harbaugh has always wanted. So you want that inside pressure, whether it's with Tillery, or the outside pressure with Hayes, who I really like coming off the edge. They got to get some pressure on that quarterback.
We always love having you on, and I wanted to show you, last year we had a problem with our chair.
Yes, I'm not sinking. I appreciate that.
You have brought it up. Every time I see you, I'm like, I swear we did not do it at purpose, so we got you a nice steady chair this year.
I appreciate that.
We'd love to have you back again coming up this season. We also are going to have a great story on you and your son, Mike Jr., who's also in town right now, working together. So we'll hear from that coming up later this year. And thanks again so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
Really quick, what's your score prediction tonight?
Score prediction, well, obviously you have to go with the Irish, so we're going to have to put up some points. I'm going to say 27-24, Notre Dame get the victory.
I like it.
All right.
You heard it here. Mike Golic, 27-24 Irish victory. We hope he's right. Thank you so much. Hey, stick around. We still have lots more to come here on ABC 57 Saturday Kickoff.